Lead the way. Well, we have to start with the most important thing that's happened in our lives today. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are engaged.
Oh my God! Yes, I saw that.
I saw that, and my Twitter's gonna be dog shit for the next couple of days.
Are you like a fan, a hater, a neutral?
Neither. I just stay away from like everything.
That's kind of, I mean, I would say I'm between neutral, slightly fan, not really in hater territory, but
yeah,
I'm not going to be reposting the picture, but I'm really happy that other people are happy, I guess. Kind of.
Yeah. I somehow either tend to follow people who are diehard fans, or on my feed, it's just like I get one picture and then it's just everything is Taylor Swift. So when I was scrolling Twitter earlier, it was just all like Swift. I was like, well, I'm going to let people have their fun.
Yeah. I don't.
Let people theory craft or something like that. Oh my God, they planned this engagement. I'll look at all these different images for the past 4 years planning this out to say 6/20/6/25. It's crazy.
It feels, the only thing I can think of that was like, this is kind of like, I mean, good, but like Taylor Swift has had a few different like long-term relationships. And so I was like, okay, like it's like, this is, I think the first time she's been engaged. So I was like, okay, this is like, feels like a little, not conspiratorial, but yeah, I was like, okay, this is interesting. Like they made it.
Maybe it's the end game. Who knows?
I guess so.
Scalpel Taylor Swift wants to talk about you now. So I originally wanted to set this up because I'm very interested in your burgeoning DJ career, as we are seeing the hottest new DJ in Denver. How did that happen? Let's take it back. How did this thing come about? Getting
like just interest in DJing in general, or like how I started meeting people, or like whatever.
There, because I'm more interested on how did you get interested? I'm interested in the entire story, but like right now, I start with like, how did you get interested in DJing? What was the thought process there?
I've always been like wanting to be a part of music in some way, like even since I was little, like I wanted to sing, and then it's like I never learned how to play any instruments, and I never like kind of explored that side of myself because I was a little bit more of the like type A kid, so like it just never like fit into like what I was always doing. But I would always like dream about like singing or like doing something music related. And then I don't know. I think it was like during COVID, like 2020, whenever we were like doing our, like when the classes shut down for our like CPA review class, there was this like sale for Ableton, which is like a popular audio workstation, like music production software. And it was basically like free for 6 months or something, which I think they do like a 1 month trial, but like, I don't know, 1 month is not that long to like really learn anything from music production. So I was like, oh, okay, like I could actually use all my off time from CPA studying to like do that. And so then I was just like kind of messing around with music production for like a year, maybe 2 years. And I was like, oh, like DJing is like a thing that you do once you're good at producing music. Like once you actually have gigs because you produce a lot of good music, then you start DJing. So I'm not even going to think about that until I can like get good at music production. And then the more I like, I guess would either read interviews of other artists or like learned about people that make like electronic music and stuff like that, I was like, wait, like you can kind of just like you can do both. You can produce music and DJ, but you don't have to like have some credibility as like some amazing producer to DJ. And so then I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna like buy this board. Oh, are we allowed to like curse or?
Yeah, I do it probably to the detriment of the content, but so yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I figure like I was like I feel like I've heard that, but just wanted to triple check. But yeah, then I was like, I'm just gonna buy this board, and so I bought like the basic, it's like a DDJ 400 for people like now it's like the Flex 400. And I just started like messing around with it. I probably like messed around with it for like a year. I don't know. It's like one of those things where you go in and out because like it feels like it's a lot to learn. And then it gets like super overwhelming. You're like, I don't know how to do anything. I keep throwing this away. And then you like watch a video and you learn like 100 new things and you're like, oh, okay, now I know how to do all this cool stuff. Like I'm good. Like I got it. So it was kind of like back and forth. And then like I randomly like met this guy at the gym and we kind of became friends, and he was also kind of a DJ. And then he had like a friend group of people that were also like DJing and like casually, not anyone famous, you know, but like just like other people that were like doing the same thing. And then I was like, had more motivation to like on a weekly or like regular basis be like playing with people. And then I also learned like a ton of stuff. I was like, oh shoot, like I'm not supposed to be using that button, or like, oh, like I should have turned that off a while ago. Okay. So like helped me learn a lot. And also just made it like fun, like instead of like a thing that I'm like, okay, I have to learn this and like, oh, I can't figure this out. It just became like more of like a fun social thing. So that's kind of how I got to a point where I actually was like, oh, okay, like I'm decent at this. Like I can make a mix. Like that's not hard. And yeah,
How long was that entire process of like starting to feeling like you're decent at it?
Like from when I got the board to feeling like I'm decent at it, like actually knew what I was doing, probably like a year and a half. But like, if I was telling someone, if someone was like, oh, I really want to get into it, you could learn it in like a month or 2 months. If you actually like, I also, to my own like kind of stubbornness, like there's courses that come with the like, deck that I bought. And I was just like, yeah, I'm just like, it's going to be fun to figure it out. I could have like learned 75% of things I learned later in probably like 2 days. So like someone could probably learn the basics in like a couple weeks, a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you're decent at it. And you're making mixes. Where, I guess, how do you get the inspiration for certain songs to mix them? Like, how do you choose the 2 or 3 or 10 or whatever it is? And then the transitions in between, etc. Like, how do you plan that out? It's just kind of like, you know, certain sets, like certain 3-4 song sets are spontaneous, and then you transition to a different 3-4 song set. How does that work?
It depends on what I'm doing. So like now, like I think the first party I played at was like a year and a half after I like that I would like know I was officially gonna like, okay, you're like playing here. And I like had a super, I'm playing this song and then this song, and at 3 minutes and 20 seconds, we're bringing the next song in. And then at this point, I'm gonna switch the bass. Like very methodical, because it was like my first time where I felt like people would actually be paying attention. And it's like, in theory, I know how to do it, but I didn't want to mess anything up. So I kind of did that like my first time around. And then I guess to your point on like, cause that's kind of like the planning, I guess, that went into it. And now like the more comfortable I get, like the past few gigs that I've had, and it depends like what it is and like how serious I think it's going to be. Like if I'm like, sometimes I'm just over at like a friend's like rooftop party. I'm like, okay, I'm just plugging in, like maybe I'll make a playlist of some songs that I think fit the vibe of like what that night or what that day is going to be, or like what the vibe is. And I'll just kind of like run with it. Or sometimes I'm literally just like playing with friends spontaneously and we're just going back and forth. And then other times, like I had something that was like my first like paid gig a couple weeks ago. And for that, I was like, okay, I'm going to like plan a set, like of this song into this song. And like, if it's turning into a train wreck, then I'll switch it, like try to like do it on the fly. But like, this is for the most part what I'm going to do. So I guess that's my thought process, and then, but it's not really like my inspiration. My inspiration just comes from like loving music. Like I will just hear a song and really like it and go and download it either on like Beatport or like Apple Music. So I buy all my music. I don't try to like illegally download it or anything, but like I will buy it either from Beatport, Apple Music, or like if someone has listed it for free on like SoundCloud. Like if I hear a song that I like, I'm like digging to find it somewhere. And then I'll also like I listen to a lot of like mixes too, so like other artists like hours long mixes. So then I'm constantly just like finding new music beyond just like, okay, I like this artist and they just released this song. Like, oh, they put together a mix of like 20 different artists. So like, did I like that? Blah, blah, blah. Or like pull from there. And then I will also like use, like Beatport is kind of like an Apple Music or Spotify in that like you can download, or like an Apple Music, or maybe not Apple Music, because Apple Music and Spotify are streaming. Beatport is like you buy the songs like iTunes. So it's kind of like that, but it gives you a lot of like suggestions. It's like made for DJs. So if you put like one song in your cart, then it'll suggest like 20 different songs to you. So sometimes when I'm really in like a mood of like, I need new music, I'll start like digging through there. Or when I know I have like something coming up that I want to play on like a playlist or like a set for, even like my mixes that I put on YouTube, I'm like, okay, I want to go for this vibe. I have like a few different like labels or like collectives I like in different genres. So I'll just like go to their page and see like what they've put out recently or what's most popular and then what's kind of similar to that. So like maybe once a month or once every 2 months, I do like a deep dive and just like buy like, I don't know, probably like $40 to $50 worth of music.
Mm-hmm. So then,
super long-winded everything, but yeah.
No, I think that's a good history lesson. We like that. It's a good catch up. So now we're here. Now. 2024, 2025. BBKates YouTube. Go follow it. When you dropped your first mix, I was like, hell yes. When you dropped your first vlog, I was like, fuck yes. I think you, at least to me, naturally have a more personable vlog creator aesthetic and vibe. Like,
I appreciate
on
that.
video, you look comfortable, you look natural, you look just chatty, you look like you're not putting on an act, which is
yeah. In a weird way, like I feel very, this sounds like conceited. It's like I feel comfortable in front of the camera. Not when like other people are just like have a camera in front of me, but like when I'm like recording myself, like doing a vlog, I feel very like comfortable in like a weird way. Yeah. Sometimes I'm like, I'm just chatting to like my friends and I'm like, you're talking to a camera, but sure.
Yeah. Well, no, that's the thing, right? You played off very well. Cause I mean, I have, as the insecure overachiever that I am and the anxiety prone individual that I am, I almost always have a comparison bias. Anything that anybody else is doing to myself. And so I just love, and it makes me appreciate your videos much more, which is why I watch every single one of them. It's not like, oh, she's so comfortable behind the camera. Fuck, why can't I be like that? She's so comfortable. Oh my God, we gotta talk to you. This is how she would talk to me if you're on a phone. Fuck, why can't I do that? But I just, all I have to say, like, very good camera presence. That's great. Love that.
Love that. I definitely get the self-doubt though too. Like maybe not so much in the moment, but like with the DJ and like music stuff especially, like I remember like when I would first put like little reels on my channel, I would like watch them and then like it would start suggesting other people's content to me and I was like, fuck, why are they so much better? Like why are they
it's very, very bad what the feed does.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, it's so cool to see other people doing the same thing. And I was like, why are they all better than me?
Yeah.
Why? And even sometimes with my YouTube, I'm like, oh, I like the content I put out, but why is my aesthetic? Like, why can't I put like a cool thumbnail together to save my life? Like, in my mind.
That's the thing, right? When I see your thumbnails, I'm like, these look very similar to other music mix thumbnails that I've seen already on like my For You pages. So in my head, I was like, holy shit, she already cracked the code. Like, I'm like, oh fuck, she already cracked the code. Like she's already doing it. Because I mean, your first few mixes got well over like 1,000, and that was dope. I'm like, yes, we love to see that. But yeah, no, the 40-page thing is crippling. It is very crippling. It's why I stopped scrolling initially. Once I started like getting this stuff, I was like, I can't scroll past other people's videos. They have like 24.5K likes, which means they have more views. I'm like, I don't know why this video is working, but I really can't watch it because otherwise I'm going to overanalyze and be sad. And I don't feel like being sad right now. I'd rather go make videos. So I try really hard not to scroll.
I feel like it's so hard because like you want to use it as like a reference point of what's working well. Yeah. And then it kind of just
where you want to get like ideas or inspiration or like, what trends are out there and you want to do the same thing. So you have to scroll. But it's like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like when I scroll for information and investigative purposes, I don't find what I want. But when I'm like in bed at night at like 10 p.m., just like on my neck like this scrolling, and I find like 5 videos that I'm like, oh, I could recreate these tomorrow morning. And it's like, what? Fuck. Damn.
Yeah. Yeah. This visual was too real.
I did that last night. That's why it's fresh in my brain.
That's why, okay, life hack. I will delete, well, one, I don't have TikTok, and that might be to my own, like I maybe might want it at some point for like my own branding, whatever, who cares, but I don't have TikTok. And then Instagram, I'll delete it off my phone so that I have to scroll on my laptop. So there's no like this on the laptop, like I have to sit up straight. Like, but I will sometimes end up scrolling reels on my laptop, but at least I'm like this, like scrolling. Yeah. Like at least I'm like doing business because I'm on my laptop.
I feel that. And it's keeping you upright. I had to delete, for the first time ever, I deleted Twitter off my phone. Or X. Yes, we are very proud snaps for me. I had to finally, like, it was just getting, I kept leaving it because I do try and engage with authors and other readers on there to the extent that I can, or I like most of the content that I see on there. But there's times I just fall into such a bad scrolling rabbit hole that I'm like, shit, this is not why I even turned the app on. And I was like, you know what, forget it. So now, I only scroll if it's on my computer while I'm working, which is also not good. Or
then it's company time. Sorry.
I was going to ask you.
Don't let that get on my personal time. Absolutely not.
Off the record, on camera, off the record. But how do you deal with work from home?
Well, I don't know. I don't want to be in the office. I don't want to be in the office. Like, I'm dealing fine. I feel like I go through phases because, are you still in public accounting? I don't know if we can. Are you at the same company that you started? Okay. I don't want to be like, whatever. So I feel like, or at least for me, same company. So you know the drill. I feel like I go through phases where I'm like really, really good at setting boundaries. Like I'm getting on at this time and I'm logging off at this time. And like, if I get my priorities done, but I don't get everything else done, I'm still logging off. Like I'm done. I need to I can't live a happy life constantly overextending myself. So I will go through, and like that works out really well, but then I'll go through other phases where I'm just like get kind of lax with the boundaries. Like someone starts setting up like 6 or 7 a.m. calls and I'm like, fine, I'll just join and get it over with. Or like I get lazy during the day and then I'm like, well, I'll just work at night, even though that's crossing my boundary. Cause like when I tell myself I'm not going to work at night, I'm like more productive during the day. Cause I'm like, you're not like, I don't know, not trying to actually like miss out on stuff. But yeah, it's hard. I think it's hard because like it's hard to like have a boundary. Like even now, like I'm on my personal laptop, but like I have my work laptop literally right here on. Like it's like it's off.
Yeah, but I mean,
it's like up, it's on.
Yeah, not good. Not good. I get that. I had to turn the because I always put mine to sleep and I really like turn it off, and then I also have a work phone, so I have to like mute both of them after work. Now I can't because it's busy season. I need to make sure it's on. But I have a really bad problem with getting distracted. And that is probably just the amount of things that I do for myself or make myself do that.
Yeah.
I'm so prone to distractions that when it's slow, I don't work. I barely work. And when it's busy season, I still barely work. And I'm just always finding something else to do. Love that for us. But
yeah,
I don't want to go back. I can't. Like, I know it's good for me. Like, to be completely honest with you, like I am wholeheartedly one of those people who needs like hybrid or all in the office. Like I just working remote. Like I get shit done. Get my stuff done. Utilization is another matter, but I get my stuff done.
And I'm not the feds. I'm not here about charge hours or utilization or time.
No one will ever know. It's fine. This podcast isn't big enough yet for that. But yeah, no, I mean, but the thing is like I enjoy work from home because all these creative ideas that I have, I can at least like get them out of like my brain. If you have an idea for a video, if you want to just like make a quick video, post it, go back to your work, or like take 20 minutes, 30 minutes, actually step away, I go on a walk, I go meditate, I do something else, and then I come back. That kind of stuff is much, much nicer.
Yeah, I agree. It kind of gives you more freedom throughout the day to be like I'll be the same. I'm like, well, I would rather record. I go through those periods too where I'm really trying to prioritize myself and like what I'm working towards. So I'm like, I'm going to do the first thing I'm going to do today is record my mix, and then I'm going to log on. And if that means I have to work a couple hours later, that's fine. But like, what's going to get my top mental energy of the day is my thing. And
yeah,
I don't know. Why does that sound messed up? I'm sure everyone's going to agree.
No. That's exactly.
But like sometimes I just
everybody does that. Like they're basically saying, I'm going to put me first and then the work for today because I need to in order to do both. Well, if I did work, I would not put me first. You would not be able to record a mix after working 8 to 10 hours. You can't. It's annoying. You can't.
And the days that I go into the office, I'm so drained when I get back from like being in like the void and like having people around constantly. And I will be productive, but yeah, like when I get back, I'm like really drained and I'm like, I don't really feel like
you barely have the capacity to cook for yourself. You barely have the capacity to clean. You just want to exist, sleep, and then go back to what you're doing the next day. Yeah, I love this. I don't know if you've heard how much you like look up these stats or whatever, but I love the statistics about focus, of how long we can actually stay focused on task. And it's usually 90 minutes on average for anybody. It's like 90 minutes. And then after that, you're really pushing the boundaries of your focus. You need like some way to reset and then come back for another 90 minutes. But like statistically, I guess over time, it's been learned that without the use of external factors, whether it's focus supplements, coffee, Adderall, any of the like pharmaceutical drug, we can only output 3 to 4 hours, really pushing it. You could push it to 6. Sometimes people say 6 to be conservative, but like a very low amount of like mental like labor in a day. The rest of the day generally was for us to be active, moving around, doing something else that isn't like sit down immobile mental work. And so I think about how warped our days have become and how inverse they've become to where we barely move. I barely move. I currently have 2 shoulders and a lower back that's fucked up from not moving enough. Except that I'm just, like,
and then you're like I scroll like this.
Exactly.
I literally was like, oh, yep, you're right.
Exactly. And I do that like every day, like just as I'm sitting at my job, I'm just like, can I straighten, kind of like shoulder, shoulders back? And then I go straight into just hunched turtle, just arm like this on my mouse. Once I Had to complete the aesthetic. Leg up, arms like this.
Oh, the leg up is crazy.
The leg up or it's because my legs are too long to sit crisscross in a seat, unfortunately. But
the leg up is elite. You can't do that in the office. It's so cozy.
I've never been in the office. I'd probably get fired. I'm also wearing shoes, and I don't like to take my shoes off in the office. I've seen people who take their shoes off in the office and just like sit cross-legged in their seat. I'm like, you're brave. You have confidence that your work quality is very good. So nobody will ever tell you not to do that shit. But yeah, going back to the tangential topic of, we're not supposed to be doing this kind of work for 10, 12 hours a day. It really sucks. And I don't like it. And doing it for 5 years now. It's going to be 6 years. Oh God, it's going to be 6 years soon. Like doing it for 5 years now, like I'm like, I really don't want this to be every day.
What's your like thought process or like plan, or like how are you feeling about all of that? Like, are you just like at the point where you're like, I'm just sticking it out, let me just try to do as less, like let me just get by and I'm gonna stick it out? Or you're like, I'm like actively looking for something else, or like what's your thought process right now on that?
My thought process has been for a while that this is not what I'm supposed to be doing for the rest of my life. So, but I have to kind of stick it out for now, is essentially what's happened. I got promoted to manager this summer. And so I'm more or less in a way stuck for like 2 more years. Just because where my wife and I are right now, residency ends in 2 years. We don't know if we're moving back to Dallas or staying in this area. If we move back to Dallas, then that opens up like finding something new or whatever it is. But I don't want to find a new place, a new job right now, and then switch again if we move somewhere else. So sticking it out, but that's been good and bad. Like the fact that I've accepted that to stick it out for X amount of years means that like I'm not looking, which means I'm focused on just how to make work, which means all my energy is going into how can I just get through the day, do the work that I need to do, not get yelled at about my utilization, and how to trigger somebody who works in the public sector.
Right now it's my daily time entry. That's the issue, but I'm sorry. I
just started booking 8 to GNA every single day. And then if I can gather the energy at the end of the 2-week period, I'm like, what the fuck did I do these days? Let me just get as much as I can in and fill up this time.
That's what I started doing. Yeah. No, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Like, quote me on this. This is perfect. I know this isn't an accounting podcast, but like, no cool kids are entering their time daily. It's just not a thing. None of the cool kids are entering their time daily.
That's facts though. That's facts. Like, well, and I think that's what pushed me into content, because content is the easiest thing that you can start doing for yourself that feels like you're doing something for yourself. And then that can transition you into something else. Do you want to start your own business? Do you want to start your own personal brand? Do you want to do your own content online? Do you want to do any sort of courses, that kind of stuff, like working for yourself? Or it kind of helps you understand, I don't like where I am, let me go somewhere else. But the reason why I got so, like, the beginning of this year was the worst. Because, well, end of last year, beginning of this year, right? And I don't know if I caught you up since then, but like we had 8 people leave the team between like last October and through like January 2025. So like once the season ended, like 8 people left, including the partner of our team. There's only one partner. And so when he left, and then subsequently, like one of my good friends that I made through work, she left because her reason was like, once I saw the partner leave, I was like, yeah, this is just a job even to him. So like, if I'm not enjoying it, if I'm not happy, I just need to go find something else that makes me happy. Like, I have no tie to this place. I mean, it's not as long as loyalty. It's a matter of, how much do I care about myself? So then she left, and I was like, damn. And so now I was still trying to stick it out because I was raised by parents who were those kind of people. You stay at the place that you stay at for as long as you stay at it, as opposed to jumping and hopping. And so I've tried to avoid hopping as much as I could, especially in this industry. But then I had another friend of mine tell me recently that they might be thinking about leaving within like a year. And I'm like, I'm the only one left after that. What are you doing to me?
That original team. Yeah.
Yeah. So it has basically like I'm sticking it out until I do exit. But when I exit, it'll be with a bang, I think. But right now it's just, I think, how can I stay where I'm at, not let anything slip, but then still enjoy things like other things that I'm doing. Which is like the hard part.
Yeah.
Because certain jobs aren't built for you having a life outside of the job. And this is like I think this is one of those jobs where you can have a life, but you can't have many lives outside of the job. Very few people, if they're like type A wired, can do it. Like they're very segmented, very compartmentalized, very structured, very scheduled. They can do it. If you're a type B lazy ass like me, and you just have all this mess in your head, you can't really work 8 to 10 hours, go to the gym, go get your walk in, go create content, go read the books you need to create the content, go create the podcast, edit the podcast, post the podcast. Also do other things. And I've talked about this before on the podcast. And this for people who've heard of this before, they've heard this before from plenty of times. Where I am does not supplement that. I'm stubborn as fuck though. So I'm gonna make work anyway.
Stubborn?
Yeah, I'm stubborn as fuck. And probably disillusioned or delusional to an extent as well.
Hell yeah.
It's fine. It works. It's okay.
Great. It's not delusional. It's reality.
It's 2025. If we're not delusional, what ought to be? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm surprised you think you're type B.
Oh, I'm very much type B.
Yeah.
Well, I say that, and my therapist has run a perfectionism exam, like test on me, where she's like, "You're kind of on this perfectionism spectrum," and then on top of that, she recently ran an OCD, autism screening on me, and she's like, "Well, you're not screening for autism, but like some of the markers are there." And I'm like, "Well, a lot of these factors are screaming. I don't know if it's A or B or AB."
Well, I do have special interests. Oh my gosh. One of my friends, though, she brought it up and she's like, I think I'm type A minus. And the other person's like, yeah, I'm a type B plus. And I'm like, maybe you can do that for you. You're like, I'm a B plus. Like,
I might be a B plus. I feel like I feel like I'm a B masquerading as an A.
Yeah, you give off type A vibes.
Yeah. I've heard that before. So that's fun. I should probably take that exam now too. If I'm type A or type B, I'm pretty sure there's an exam online you could take, like in terms for type A or type B. That should be fun, and not at all breaking down my entire life. So I want to get back to you now, though, and I want to ask you. So okay, and we're going back into the DJ thing because I'm still interested in this. I want to get to in a second, like emotionally and mentally how you feel, doing this stuff. But I always like to ask people, like, how do you go from not knowing what you're doing to now you're decent, like a year and a half later, to you have a friend group who does this as well, so you have a little bit of a network that does this, to now you get paid for like the gigs that you do?
I got paid for 2. Well, the guy still hasn't paid me. He said he was going to pay me. So okay. That's different. Let's put that. So let's redact.
Do you feel like you are at the point to charge for what you do, and if so, how do you determine that?
Yes, I think I got to the point where I was like, okay, it depends on events, but I was also like, I like DJing. I think it's very fun, but like still my goal is to continue to get better at music production. Like that's ultimately, music in general brings me joy. And so like there's a specific, I don't know, craving to be able to create my own thing. And like creating a mix is kind of still creating your own thing because it's your take on the music maybe, but still like, yeah, that's like still my main kind of goal and what brings me the most satisfaction. I guess DJing is more of like I don't want to say quick fix because it's not that either, but it's more of like another fun way to also be involved in music. And so I guess with that in mind, I kind of, once I started getting some gigs now that I've moved to Denver, and I'm not like booked all the time, but like the past 3 weekends before I went on like the trip I just took for the past 2 weeks, I had like a thing every weekend. And like, I was like, that's just too much because it's not enough time for me to actually like, I don't know, like if I'm prepping something, it's just too much if they're not all going to be like paid things that I actually enjoy, or if like there is a series that I've been doing and it's unpaid and like that it's like the espresso sessions thing. And that I like just really appreciate the concept. I really like, I do that for free. But like some of the other stuff that has been like offered to me, like going forward, I'd probably be a little bit more like, I don't know. I'd rather use my time and I also just started teaching fitness classes at a gym near me. So I have a few different like side. I literally, when I started this year, I was like, I overdid it. And I was like, I need like more side stuff to feel fulfilled in my life besides the laptop that's right here. So anyway, so like between all the other things that I do and like want to focus on, it just doesn't make sense for me to do stuff that's not paid. So that's kind of my mindset, like going forward, that I'm going to try to be like, hey, like, again, it's like something that you will have to, like I was talking to one of my other friends that's been in the like industry for like closer to 10 years. And so I kind of got his advice too. And he was like, it's a negotiation thing. Like if it's something you really want to do, then maybe you would do it for free. Like, or if it's an actual event where you're actually going to get a lot of exposure, or you're going to be playing alongside somebody that you actually like really respect, then yeah, maybe it's worth for free or like less than that. But like in general, like have a rate of, yeah, this is like what I charge for just like normal things. So that's kind of where I'm hoping to get to over the next couple months.
Interesting. So I want to hit on something you mentioned earlier, which was about the music production. 2 questions there. Currently, when you're making mixes, do you take the song as is and then just transition it to a second one, or do you like mess with the song that you've taken, whether it's adding layers, taking away layers, etc., as part of your mix?
Typically, I'm just like working with the one song and then transitioning it to another one. You can add like effects on the like song itself, like during a transition, if I want to like add extra, maybe like build up, you can add extra sweeps and all that fun stuff. So you can add like extra effects to make a transition more dramatic, or to make a original part of the song more dramatic as well. But typically I'm just working with the song themselves. One thing that I'll do that's kind of fun is I'll like make like mashups, or like but I'll do it in like, maybe I'll practice them like DJing. Like I'll want the vocals of one song, but like the beat of another. I like doing that with like hip hop a lot, like taking like a hip hop vocal or like some like, yeah, a vocal, and then taking like a house or a techno track and like just using the beat of that. And so sometimes I'll just like overlap those. And then because I only currently have, so some more professional DJs will like mix with like 4 to 8 channels at a time. And so you can take the vocal from one and the low end or like the bass from another one and whatever, and like add all these different layers. Since I only have 2 channels, if I'm taking like the vocals of one and the beat of another, then that's occupied. So then sometimes I'll just like go into Ableton and mess around with the track, like download them and then EQ out certain stuff, and then like create like a mashup of a few things, or if I'm like, okay, I want like this part of the vocal to like keep looping, and it doesn't do that in the original track, but like it's a hip hop song, I really only want the chorus. I don't want all the like da 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 whatever they're singing about the whole time. Like I'm trying just something catchy. Like I'll just have that. I'll just make that loop and like kind of edit it in Ableton and then use it as like my edit of two songs that aren't really mine, but now it's like kind of my edit together. Which in theory you could do like on the thing, because you could like have it be looping and have this overlaying and then whatever, but it just makes it easier so that it's already basically like prepped. I don't know if any of that makes sense too. Sometimes I don't know if I'm thinking.
No, it does. It does. It answers the question, but it just got me thinking like, so going from there to the actual beat and music production, like music production is what you want to do, where you're taking something from your brain and just creating it in FL Studios or whatever it is that you're using. Mm-hmm. That's what you're trying to get to.
Yeah.
So like, what does that look like? I guess how does that start? Is it like a tune, a beat that you have in your head? You sit down and you're like, no, well, I'm just going to make something today from scratch and just see how it goes. But only give myself 30 minutes, an hour, see what happens. And then that kind of practice, like, are you trying to make house type music? Like, what's the framework that you have in your brain about that?
Yeah, this is where I feel like, yeah, this is where I feel like I have imposter syndrome, because I'm like, I don't have like people are like, okay, so I take this beat and then I do this, and I'm like, okay, cool. No, I mean, like, I will like. So I go through phases, but I've been trying to be consistent this year. I've been like had a couple months that are like more busy, and so it's been hard, but I've been like, okay, 30 minutes a day, something music production, even if it's like what I'm doing is just watching a YouTube video, like have layers of things that I can do. Or organizing files. I still need to do that. Anyway, but I'm like, okay, so that gives me 30 minutes. And then it's just, what do I have capacity for? So maybe if it's in the morning, I'm like, I have this idea. Let me like actually start pulling that in. Or I get like more motivated if I have like a set or something to prep something for. So like I did finally finish a track for like my last espresso sessions that I really wanted to play. It's not like released or anything. Like I'm not planning to do some huge label release, like whatever. But like, I knew I had that coming. And I was like, it's been done for a while. Like, let's just finish it. And then same thing with like another thing I had before. I was like, I really wanted to make this like mashup of songs. And it's like, okay, it's like 2 hours before the thing's about to start. And I'm like throw this together super, super quick. So it's like, I can do it. I just like, sometimes you get stagnant. But yeah, so like sometimes it's like the pressure of like something happening that like kind of gets an idea out of my head and then like through the finish line. And then, it also depends on the day. So like if there's days too where I'm like, I told myself I'll do my 30 minutes of music production. Like it's 10:30. I want to go to bed. I'm taking the laptop to bed. And what I'm going to do during those 30 minutes is literally just like try to do arrangement of like something I've already done, or maybe I'm going to watch a video, or like go in and like listen to some old tracks that I put together, but like maybe I don't like them, but like I have an idea for this one now. So, and then like I have been getting a lot more. One thing that's kind of helped me too is doing like remixes, or like starting with a reference track. And people say this all the time, but like if you have at least a reference track, like if you don't have an idea in your head, or if you have an idea in your head but you don't know how to like necessarily output it, I feel like a reference track is really helpful. Like, okay, I want to try to make something like this, or there's this song that I really like and I want to make a remix of it. It gives like a framework of like, okay, like I can use that vocal. I know what key the song is in, so that's already helpful. I already can actually even pull out maybe the main notes of like, oh, okay, this is the main like chord progression that they're using. Like I can actually maybe even pull that. Maybe I'll tweak something, or maybe just like leave it and use it for a different instrument. But like I can already then pull out all these elements to like kind of help me build something around that and then go from there.
For the times when you're like, I'm just gonna do something because I said I would, do you ever feel like it's a kind of like a cop-out action of, and I guess I'll give the example of like, to your point, okay, yeah, you said 30 minutes of music production, it's 10:30, you want to go to bed. So if it's from 10:30 to 11, instead of doing anything in the actual software, you're watching a video on it, or you're like planning for the next day, or you're doing a little bit of like admin stuff for the next time. Do you ever feel like, oh man, I kind of just spent 30 minutes doing what feels like nothing. I could have spent that time like doing something. Or do you still feel like you get something out of even that little bit of what you just did?
I think it depends on the type of person you are. So like I definitely sometimes I'm like, oh, like, yeah, that's what makes me feel like I have imposter syndrome. I'm like, you're not a music producer. You're in your bed, like watching a video. But I am like, I'm the type of person that builds a lot of trust by like keeping my commitments to myself. So if I'm committing to 30 minutes a day on weekdays or like 4 days a week, whatever, if 1 or 2 of those days that week has to be in bed doing effectively nothing, but I'm still still investing in it somewhat, it's like I'm keeping the habit, if that makes sense. So like, then the next day I'm like, well, like, yeah, like again, we're still 30 minutes, like versus like if I don't do anything, then it's like, oh, because I don't have time, or like I don't have time or energy to do the actual like nitty gritty of what I would consider like important, then I'm just not going to do anything at all. Like, I think it kind of, for me, I tend to have like a bit of a perfectionist or like all or nothing mindset. So it helps kind of like calm that. The like, it's not all or nothing. We're not, if we don't have 5 hours to sit down and like make an entire track from scratch, like that doesn't mean we do nothing. That like you can still do like 20 minutes of something, 30 minutes of something. So for me, it just kind of helps to build that trust that like, no, I'm making this a habit. I'm making this a priority, even if it's the end of the day, even if like technically maybe what I'm getting out of it isn't the best. And then sometimes like it does, like sometimes I watch a video and I'm like, that wasn't really what I'm wanting. And other times I'm like you never really know how you're going to feel once you get into the flow. Like sometimes I start watching a video thinking I'm just going to watch a video and I'm like, okay, I immediately need to try this. Like I'm going into like, I'm opening up Ableton and I'm just like starting a new track and I'm just going to try like putting this together, and whether that goes somewhere or not, but like, you never know like what's going to happen. It's literally just about starting and saying like, I'm doing the action because I told myself I'd make it a priority for myself. So I'm going to like keep that promise to myself.
I like that. Very adult. Yeah.
I'm extremely habitual, for better or for worse. Like,
I was gonna ask if you deem yourself more extroverted or introverted, or more of a homebody, or like likes to be outside a lot.
I'm definitely more introverted in the sense that I think I can play extrovert very well, but I feel more like I need to recharge by myself or like alone or at home. Like I need a lot of time. Yeah. Or just, I need time to myself no matter where it is. So that in that way, I feel like I'm introverted.
Do you do solo personal dates? Do you just like take yourself out to like a coffee shop or like a lunch or things like that?
Yeah, not like traditional dinner stuff, but I love going to the movies by myself. Like,
yeah,
I love it. That is like my favorite thing in the world, to go to a movie by myself. I don't really take myself to dinners or anything like that. I'm just like, I'll just cook at home. But I I'll do like a little coffee shop moment. Yeah, I don't know.
I love solo dates. It's hard to do them now because I am married and I do want to do things with my wife. And it kind of sounds bad. I'm like, you stay in on Sunday. I'm kind of want to go out myself and just take myself out. But solo dates are fun. I've actually grown to love them over the years. Out of like the desire to do them as opposed to the rejection of wanting to be with other people, like or like the rejection of nobody wants to do this with me, so I'm just gonna do it by myself. It's more so I just want to do it by myself and just have fun. I like solo dates. They're fun.
What's your favorite type of solo date? Like, what do you like kind of doing by yourself?
I mean, I think the easiest one is public library and reading. Just go sit in like the public libraries are like top 5 most peaceful places on the entire planet, and nobody can ever like convince me otherwise. But where we used to live before we moved, you could literally walk over 2 blocks, and there's like a mini town public library there. So it was always an amazing like trip of either take my whole backpack or just my bag, put in some music or a podcast, walk the 2 blocks, sit there. I'm super quiet. I'm just reading. And I liked it a lot for when I was like reading the 5 types of wealth and like annotating and stuff. I can just like really be like, it's really just me annotating and just always no distractions. And then I can be there for like 30, 40 minutes, if not longer. And then I can walk back, go back home. And it encompasses everything that I want in a day, or like want in like an outside excursion, because I don't like going out of the house, to be completely honest with you. I don't like it as much. I'm just a homebody through and through. So to get out of the house, it's for necessities. It's like food or walking to get sunlight. Now, I wish where we were now had somewhere to sit, like a little like park bench or some sort of bench or whatever it is that I could sit and do this shit on. Can't. So now I've just been walking and coming home and doing this shit. But my favorite day is a library date, because it also involves no money, and I like coffee shops because I like being around other people. I'm like, you're doing work, I'm doing work. We don't care about each other. We're just doing our thing. But I'm always like, I should be getting something here. Obviously, paying for like the time that I'm spending here, but also don't drink coffee. And like, oh, you could try tea. I don't like tea. You could try juice. Yeah, but then I'm paying a for a juice. I could just buy orange juice at like Wegmans and then bring it back home type shit. So it's like, sometimes like the whole like monetary thing gets me like out of wanting to go out. If I have to like pay to be outside, I try and find 3 places to be outside. It's a lot of thought. It's overanalyzing this.
That's so good though. That's so good, because my first winter in Denver was pretty rough, and I would literally be like, okay, you're leaving the house and the only reason you're leaving is because you can buy something at Natural Grocers down the street, because it's a 10-minute walk. So it's like 10-minute walk there, 10-minute walk back. You're going to get out of your apartment and you're going to see the sunlight. Like, you're going to see the sun. You're not going to feel the sun because it feels cold, but you're going to see the sun. And to do that, you're gonna buy something or a few things. Yes. And so I was buying something every day from Natural Grocers, whatever I felt like buying. Now, like, yeah. So really good that you have that habit. 'Cause I love spending money outside of the house. I like don't even want another coffee. I don't even like the taste. Like, I just want to spend my money outside of my house. It's a disease.
That's so funny. Well, I mean, the funny thing is there, like, and I agree with you. Like, I know people who are like that. It's definitely like, it's fun and like self-sabotage in a sense. But I'm kind of person who I like spending money, but I end up spending money on high ticket things or high price things. So almost like, because I don't buy like little knickknacks and little aesthetic things and little like, non-utility things. I buy anything that's utility. And so I don't spend money on this unless like, I can use this for content, personal life, whatever it is. So like, I think my biggest purchase this year was probably the new camera that I got, or like other things, but it's only like a high ticket item. So I had to tell myself, you can't buy anything for like 3 months because you just bought this like one big thing that is encapsulated 3 months worth of like a personal budget of yours. And that kind of like helps me be like, nope, don't need it. That doesn't apply to books anymore, but it used to. It just doesn't anymore.
That's good. I'm so proud of you. That's amazing. Saving so much.
I don't know if I'm proud of myself, to be honest.
No, that's good. I like had to get a set of like 4 brand new tires on the way back. I'm like, I need a treat. Like, I need to buy myself a coffee. Like, and I'm like, no, you just had to buy 4 tires. Like, you're not getting.
Oh my God.
But that's what happens.
Shout out Denver.
Huh?
Shout out Denver.
Yeah, it's cold. The roads are not. How are you dealing with the cold?
I hate it. I don't go out. Like winter, I did not go outside unless I had to. Driving, it's not reason for me to. So like, well, I think the only time my car ever got used is like my wife would take the car to work, her car to work. When hers got low on gas, she'd use mine and I'd still fill hers up. And then she'd use mine until it got low on gas. And then she'd go back to hers. Cause like we just didn't use my car. Cause I'm not driving anywhere. Once again, unless it's to go to the gym, which I just canceled my gym membership. So I can't really do that now. But the only time that would get me out of the house is the gym or the grocery store. Like workout or food only ever got me out of the house. The cold sucked. The cold was absolutely garbage. I think I actually fell down. We live on like a second floor. Before we moved, the previous place was like a second floor apartment, but like you had to go upstairs from the outside to the front of the place. And so one of the times that I was leaving, I slipped on the staircase going down. I think it's like 12 steps down. And so I had my hand on the railing and I still slipped. So I was like hand on the railing, hand sliding down. And we have Christmas lights up the railing. So my hand scraped down the Christmas lights the entire time, along with like my feet sliding. And then I landed on my tailbone. So that was like, my initiation into Pennsylvania winter. Which was fine. Yeah, I actually didn't get hurt badly, so that was okay. But after that, I was like, that's fun. I will stay inside. It doesn't help that it's also like slow season for work, so it's like you don't want to do anything in general. I spent the entire winter. Well, I spent the entire winter getting out of a depressive episode. So like that in itself was amazing. But I have like 5 things to do again. It wasn't like, oh, I have all this free time. What do I go do? I have so many things I want to do. It's like I have to find things to do that keep me engaged for hours on end. I hate the cold. I do hate it.
Yeah. I'm like, what's your favorite thing that you're doing right now? I feel like you're involved in a lot, like reading, podcasts, content creation. And I know it's all intertwined, but like, what's, I guess, your favorite like creative outlet, and like what's feeling like more of like maybe more of a grind, like you still have a goal for it, but it's kind of still just more of a grind right now, at least right now.
So like my goal this year was to like prove to myself the same way you were like, proving to yourself that you can do something when you tell yourself to do it. My goal has been uploading video every single week for both BookTube and podcast channel. So like the whole goal this year was the consistency in grinding to prove to myself that you can actually be consistent. So I've enjoyed the podcast in terms of the recording and like the quality of this much more than the book videos. But the book videos are like my creative outlet. I can talk about a book, say what I want. If I'm feeling like it, I can like embellish the video a little bit with either transitions or effects or whatever it is. With the book videos, I can, I still have the mental grind of needing to post frequently on socials, but socials is only TikTok really because I don't like Instagram. So I only post to TikTok and then YouTube. But then that part feels like a grind. I don't like that. It feels like I'm trying to get a video out and therefore I'm just saying shit to say shit to get a video out versus like I actually want to say something and I'm saying it. And I'm sharing the message or sharing my thoughts or whatever it is. Because I'm just not someone who has like so many things to say, even though I have things that I want to say. They just don't all come up. Like every single day there's something new that I want to say about this thing, which is books and reading, which maybe makes me not the best creator for it. But that's felt like a really big grind. And I actually decided as of Sunday, even though my goal this year was to upload every single week on the BookTube channel, I actually decided to stop doing that. Because I proved to myself with 8 months of consistency that I can get a video out every week. It's not the best quality. I'm really getting annoyed with it. Because it just feels like scrounging for topics to talk about if I'm still within like reading certain books, or it's like, hey, here's another weekly reading update, which some people like. I just don't like that anymore. So I'm moving to like attempting like an every 2 weeks type of upload, to where it gives me time to script, record, hopefully edit something, and or spend a little bit more time on something of better quality than just a video. Because I like this, because when I'm talking to somebody else, I don't get as self-conscious about what I'm saying, how I'm saying it. And I'm just talking to somebody, and I guess, well, however I'm talking now, because I'm talking to you, I'm not as self-conscious about it. But when I'm talking to the camera, talking about books, I feel like when I'm listening back to it, I'm feeling robotic, feeling monotonous, feeling like I'm ranting, going on tangents. I'm not focused, not engaging in general. And so all these, and because I'm my own, like always my own biggest critic, I'm like, it needs to stop. I need to figure something out there. I don't have that because I can offload half the video to you, and I'm asking you questions, or we're talking and having a conversation, versus a whole 40-minute book video is just my voice. And I can't listen to myself back and say, that shit was fire, Arish. All 40 minutes of that was mwah, chef's kiss, ultimately engaging. We love it. I can't say that. So I'm taking a step back just to like, now that I know that I can do it weekly, I want to do it better, less often, and then maybe do it more often when I can do it better. This is a soft announcement, but I'm working on the Shopify store for Fableware again, because it used to be on Etsy, like, in 2023 and everything. And saw like the littlest bit of success with the sales that I got, which made me understand that like this is something that I could do. I took it off because I wasn't spending time on it. But I want to bring it back. I want to bring it back on Shopify and not Etsy. So I've been in the background, like getting everything set up for that. I just had paid my artist to give me 6 more designs. 7th one actually got sent today. So bringing Fableware back as well, just as like a thing.
That's exciting.
It's exciting. I just don't think that. I feel like I've convinced myself that I have to do all of it because I can't do just one of the things. Even though doing just one of the things would probably, like, it would be easier to be successful if I just did one of the things. But I like have this like thing in my head about doing all 3 of these things and not wanting to stop any one of them to my detriment.
I guess it depends on what your priority is, because it's like if you're enjoying all of them and your priority is just to kind of like share your life, or like, I don't know, share your life, but like if your priority is to, or I don't know, or like if you enjoy all of them and your priority is not to really be that successful or like potentially successful, but like knowing that you can't invest into 3 different things and work and marriage and existing, like, but if you're like, okay, I really, really enjoy podcasting, and when I actually think about it, maybe these other things are like not really my priority, then like, yeah, maybe that is.
Yeah,
like,
I think like every month is like that exact connotation in my head. But then it's like
deciding like what's actually fulfilling versus not. Like it's so
like,
maybe
what?
like, yeah,
It is a very scary decision. And I mean, people talk about it a little bit, but not a lot, of like, it is a very like tough decision to tell yourself, you like all these things, you have to go all in on one. I'm sorry, you don't have a choice. Like if you want to be as successful as you're saying you do, you just have to go all in on one. But like I have months where, the podcast episodes are just like solo episodes from me. So like maybe I don't enjoy them as recording and making them as much. But then on the flip side, I get the chance to get an arc, an advanced reader's copy for a book. And I get to like message the authors about it on Twitter and I post reviews about it and have fun doing that. Or I did a book club lives with one of my author friends, or one of my friends who is an author that I became very good friends with over the year. And then we got to interview another author about her book on live for like 2 hours. Amazing conversation. She said it's an art tour book. I just finished it today. One of the designs I made was for her first book. The second design that I just made was for her second book. Like, those kind of experiences are so cool. But I wouldn't have them if I didn't try to prioritize book content and reading and doing these things. So it's like both of them have certain benefits they provide to my life that without them, I feel like there would be some sort of void, but it's kind of asking myself, which void do I want? Which one has a higher upside? Which one can I come back to? Because you could say, ditch it all, do the podcast, make it monetized, use that money, take some time off your plate from the podcast, go back to some of these other things, talking about them. Maybe I could, instead of do on the book channel, the solo episodes that I would do on the book channel, I just make them a part of the podcast. Every time I read a couple of books, have like a quick book review session where I talk about like the books that I've read, and then goes back to the guest episodes. Like, you could say, okay, why don't you combine those two like that? Once again, there's like a little bit of like personal ownership that I think that gets lost when I combine the two. Like, I want to keep them separated. But these are like back and forth that I have like every single month, every single week. It feels like sometimes every day for like 2-3 days on end. So.
Well, yeah, and like it's okay to not like be able to make money off any one thing, or like you also have your full-time job, so it's like, if that's what I'm saying, if it brings you fulfillment to do all three of them, then do all three. And maybe at one point it'll be clear, like, yeah, I'm really enjoying this way more than the others, or like, I really want to get out of this corporate job, and this is like, I'm seeing an avenue here where I could be successful doing this.
Yeah.
But
I think the struggle that I'm having now is like, I know that my exit is coming from the corporate job to something else, whenever, in how many other years. So it's like, okay, well, I have like 2 years to make this work. If I want to exit to this, I can exit to another corporate job. That's not hard. Respectfully, getting a job is not that hard for me. But pivoting to being my own boss and having my own business and trying to do personal branding and content creation, that's very difficult. Some people are the inverse, where they find this much easier than this. But then that weighs heavily on my mind of like, nothing you do right now is making any sort of money, and you have this timeline. Pick one. Go in on it. Then see what happens. As opposed to doing all this on the side and then being upset that nothing's like working. It's kind of like, I don't want to have a victim mentality of like, I'm doing all this work and nothing's working, because I don't feel like I'm doing the right kind of work. And like, I'm not doing enough. It could also just be my masquerading type A of like, not feel like I'm not doing enough work.
I'll just say perfectionism, maybe. Like, if you're putting out videos, you're putting out content, you're making effort to talk to people.
So,
I don't know.
I appreciate the conversation, though. I feel like whenever I talk like this to people, I just kind of like, when you like get something out of your brain, that's all you need, really. You don't even need an answer. You just need to get whatever questions you have just in your brain out. And then you can like, just keep going about what you're doing.
Yeah, I feel like I'm a person that like, in the moment of this, like it's hard. I'm like somebody that I'm realizing, even though I can say and have conversations really quickly, my like deeper insights from them come like later, as I'm like thinking more, aka ruminating. So it's like, I'm not having any big grand ideas about anything right now, but then it's like, maybe like in a few hours, maybe even tomorrow, it'll be like, that was the key. Like,
Gotta write that down. Gotta like when it happens, gotta write that down.
so
I started keeping like a little mini daily journal, and that's been nice. 10 out of 10. Never done that before in my life. There's two things, excuse me, that I've never done in my life that I just started doing. Or I guess never been able to successfully do in my life that I think is becoming successful. Is writing something down daily, which has been in the mini journal. It's like this big. It's like really just like little notes on it. And then I started meditating a little bit, meditating and stretching again. So those have been my like physical goals.
what are you writing? Like just anything about your day? Are you writing something you're grateful for? Are you just...
It's just like how I feel about my day, like certain thoughts that I have throughout the day. And because they're like such small pages, it's sounding like a lot. So like one day might just be like 4 words of like, damn, I feel like I suck. 6 words. And then that's it. That's all I write for the day. And then the next day I'll go back and just whatever I'm feeling again. Whether it's morning was tough, well, let's make today a good day. I'll come back in the evening. Today was an all right day. The next one. Like very like simple things like that, just because can't be bothered to write more than that. But that's at least like getting something about my day out, whether it's good or bad. At least I'm identifying it, and I feel like I'm more present.
Yeah.
And the meditation has been doing wonders from like my work from home distraction mode of like, if I get heavily distracted, I know I can step away while I like flat on the floor and just like do some deep breaths. And then I get back up in like 5-10 minutes and I'm ready to go back to work.
Oh, yeah. The deep breathing goes so hard. It's crazy.
Breathing does go so hard. It's crazy.
Breathing, like, they went off with that one for sure. Now I understand.
Do you ever like think about how many times you stop breathing during the day? Like, have you ever caught yourself doing something where like you just pause your breath for like no reason and then you start breathing again?
I don't catch myself like that, but I catch myself like not hyperventilating, but I catch myself like, yo, like you need to take a deep breath. Like, like I haven't stopped breathing, but like, you know, like the more stress you get, and like all of a sudden I'll like kind of sit back and be like, and I'll be like, okay, I don't know what just happened for the past hour because you just took one breath like that and we already feel like a different person. So I don't know what.
Exactly. It's really funny. Every time I go to the doctor, wherever they take my blood pressure, it's always on low side. So I have a very slow, deep breath. So like usually it's like I'm always at a resting state. So there's times when I'm breathing so slowly that I'm like breathing myself to sleep. Like I'll just be like sitting, watching or sitting, reading something, but I'm breathing so goddamn slowly and sometimes even shallow that I like catch myself like, oh, like I'm depriving myself of oxygen because I'm breathing so slowly and so shallowly. Breathing is so interesting. Have you ever done? This is a very side tangent, and this is just at this point, it's just me talking because we're just catching up at this point. Have you ever done the Wim Hof method of breathing?
What's that? Because maybe.
So Wim Hof is a renowned breathing expert. He's someone who has, climbed icy mountains in simply like his underclothes and just sat there and breathed to keep himself warm and all this stuff. Like he's a master of breathing and regulating your body through breathing. And so he has a video on YouTube that I used to do after workouts back in 2021 when I was training in Paris. And it's like these very like intentionally controlled breaths at a specific cadence that are meant to just like regulate body temperature, regulate your mindset, regulate like a lot of things, and like bring you up to a very attentive state. And so it would be like, I don't know, 30, 45 seconds of like this breathing in and out, and then a good like 40 seconds of now breathe in, hold it, 45 seconds, minute, whatever it is. And then the next round is like 50 seconds more of holding the breath. The next round is 50 seconds more of holding the breath. But that one, like the reason why I remembered that was because like the breathing was so fast. And this was before I got my nose surgery, so I couldn't breathe whatsoever because of my nose. That forcing that stuff through my nose, there were times afterwards that I was like my nose just like opened for like a good like 10, 15 minutes. It was like open. And like, this is how normal people breathe. And I was like, I can conquer the entire fucking world right now, Kate. Like the entire world is literally my oyster with soy sauce and salt on the side. Like it is everything. And then my nose, like it gets, clogged up again. I can't breathe. And I'm like, well, I'm back to being Irish. But I really like his method of breathing for like, every now and then I'll like go back to it. And it's not really good for deep breathing, focused meditation type of thing, but I think it's really good for like, for me, it was really good for post-workout cool down.
Interesting.
Yeah.
No, I definitely have tried a lot of different breathing techniques, and like I find it really interesting too. And it's like funny that you said that thing where you like breathe really fast and you're like, I can breathe, like, because like I think also like when I moved to Denver, like the elevation gain, like I didn't really have any altitude sickness or anything, but like at the time I was running like once a week, and I just remember the first runs I did here were like, and honestly, the first like 2 or 3 months of running, and now I just gave up. But like, it was like, I literally feel like after a mile, like I can't, like I'm like gasping for air, like my throat and nose just feels so dry. And like, yeah, 2 or 3 months after I moved, I was in, it was like July, and I was in like Iowa with like family or something. And it was like, it was hot, it was humid, it was disgusting. I went for a run though, and I could breathe. And I ran like double, triple the miles that I was running in Denver. I was like, I can breathe again. This is amazing. I was like, I don't know how to explain it. Literally, I was so high off the fact that I'm like getting so much air through my body. It was crazy. So that
I guess the thing I've had for runners, and because I don't like running, and every time I run, my legs itch. And I looked it up, and it's actually a thing. If you don't like run enough, your pores get clogged, and other things happen to your skin, and you can get like itchy runner's syndrome or whatever it's called when you're running.
And I don't
if you
really
run for a while and then you run again, like, is your body not? I guess in that situation, you had run for a while, and then you went back and you ran like double what you used to do. Were your legs and arms, like, was your body not like up to par to where I would think even if you could breathe more, you still would not be able to run as much because your legs haven't been running like that, or your body hasn't been running like that. But is running more dependent on your breath than it is your actual like physical limbs and like the state of your physique?
Yeah, like I think running is more mental and more, I think it's more mental than physical. And it being like a cardiovascular exercise in and of itself, it does depend more on like how you can, like in my mind, like I think you definitely have to have a certain level of fitness or stamina to run a certain level, but I don't necessarily think, I don't know, like I think sometimes your body can just like, our body can do things that we don't realize it can do until you kind of like force it to do it. So yeah, that's my thought. I ran 5 miles. I didn't run a marathon.
I mean, you're talking to a guy who can barely run a mile without dying at this point in his life. Like my system is so shit. So 5 miles is great to me. Like 5 miles, like my dad's the runner. He runs like 5 to 8, depending on how he's feeling, and that's like his thing. And I'm like, you go have fun. Like, you want to go come running with me? I'm like, God, no. Like by the time I'm finished with 1 mile, you're on 3. Like I can't. So
yeah, but that's the thing is like you kind of create these mental thresholds for yourself. I think like based on what you've done before and what you think you can do. And so like, I don't know. Yeah.
I was talking to a friend of mine who we're both in that realm of, we just don't like running. But I know, a lot of people anecdotally have said, never liked it, but at some point it just kind of clicked, and then I started loving it. Or like I did it a lot because it just clicked, and then I started liking it. And so I feel like I'm waiting for that click now.
With running?
Like wanting to partake in a cardiovascular exercise that isn't dancing or walking. So yes, running. Because I used to use like climbing as my cardiovascular.
Oh yeah.
Activity of choice. But I've stopped doing that. But I've just been like, I've never liked running. I only liked walking because I could listen to a podcast and do it. So like, I never got into running. And I spent like 3 months trying to make myself like running. Summer like 21 also. Or 2021, one of those 2 summers. I spent like that summer trying to like get myself to like run. And I ran. Still didn't enjoy it though. So.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think this is where the power of like being swayed by little treats like really works to my advantage. Cause I was like, I just did once a week. I was like, okay, like I'm going to do a big, and then it just became a thing where like, oh, okay, I'm just going to do one big like cardio activity. So like it'd either be like running, and then like whenever I kind of hurt my knee and I couldn't really run anymore, I was like an hour on the Stairmaster, and I was like, I'm just gonna like, it does like, there is something like, I don't know, it just becomes a habit to like where you can't miss it, if that makes sense, at least to me. And then it became part of my routine that I really enjoyed. Like I was like, I liked to run on Saturday mornings, and to run you need to like have your little pre-run fuel. So I would always get really excited for my toast with peanut butter and bananas, and like have my pre-run coffee, and just like be so happy on my Saturday morning, and no one's bothering me. No one's messaging me at work. I don't even know if I liked the run itself. I just liked eating my toast in silence and then going for a run. And then after being like, I just ran, so that means I get to go buy myself coffee. Like,
yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I don't even know if I like running sometimes. It just like, I was like, yay, it's Saturday.
You like the entire package experience of like, yeah, that's fair. Interesting.
But there's also, I don't know, I get this way too with like yoga. I don't know, there's kind of like a little bit of a, I feel like I get like a release from like sweating a lot. So if I do like hot yoga, or if I do running, or like cardio, like like Stairmaster for a really long time, you just like sweat a lot, and it just feels like all that stagnant crap gets out of your body in a way that like other exercises maybe don't fully like hit spot.
Dude, I agree. I can't fucking sweat to save my life. Like it is like a regular workout does not make me sweat. It's either excessive dancing, and then when I did used to run, it would make me sweat. So I guess that like rarely anything makes me sweat now. So it's like I've been trying to find the things that make me sweat, but the things that make me sweat are things I don't want to do anymore.
Sauna. You could also just sit in a sauna.
I love the sauna. I am upset that I canceled my gym membership because it was a place that I would go to that had a sauna. But even the sauna, like, I think the sauna is weird because it would be like sweat that's just like on my skin, but nothing was dripping. So even when I was done, I'm like, am I even sweating? And then I would touch my forehead. I'm like, oh yeah, I was sweating. But it took like 20 minutes of me in there for me to like actually get to that point.
Okay. Maybe they need to turn it up. I don't know.
Yeah. So
or maybe you're just like a little reptile. You're just cold-blooded. Like
I might be. I'm a logical cold individual, as they say. Okay. So last couple of things, and then I'll let you go. This was fun. This was a good little catch up. It was a good little talk. One of our mutual friends has now picked up DJing a little bit as well. Were you like a factor in convincing her to, or did she already have an interest in it before, I guess, seeing you do it?
Mutual friend, like our mutual, or like
yes.
Or I'm pretty sure we're talking about the same person.
Yes.
Oh, okay, like my okay, yeah. She had interest before me, actually. Okay. I think. Yeah, but she had a crazy corporate job, and like I think she like started it and then was like, I don't know what I'm doing, or like didn't know what, I don't want to speak for her, but yeah, I think and then when I got my new, I bought like a new deck or whatever, and so whenever we started hanging out more, I was like, you have to like, because when I realized it was so fun to like play with my other friends, I was like, wait, you're like one of my best friends, and you kind of know, like, yeah, you haven't been practicing as regularly, but you kind of know. So like, unless you really, really don't want to, I'm gonna like force you to do this with me because we're gonna have fun. Trust me, I promise. So, yeah. Okay. But she was like, I remember her talking about it before me, before I even like thought about it.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like a little bit of both. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. I like that. I like when friends influence other friends to do things that are also fun for them to do together. I'm still trying to get my friends to read. It's not working. So I had to go make new friends who did read. Last question, and I'll let you out of here. This is something that I ask everybody who comes to the podcast. Intentionally vague, but a good question nonetheless. For anybody who's listening, what is one piece of advice that you'd like to give them?
One piece of advice. I guess. Why am I blanking? Okay, so I'm going to say like from me personally, I think this goes back to what I said earlier. I have two things though. Can I do two?
Yeah, sure. I've had people come on and do one and explain for 10 minutes or just do like 3.
Okay. My one thing is just kind of going back to what I said earlier. Follow through on your micro commitments to yourself. I heard that a while ago and that stuck with me, and that's like been like my thing. Like if you make a commitment to yourself, only make commitments that you know you can mostly keep, and then keep them. Don't overcommit to things to yourself and other people, but like for yourself, don't overcommit. And then also don't overcommit because you're going to keep them. So there's that. And then my second thing, I heard this like at the beginning of this year, and it kind of like was part of my mantra, like kind of going into the year, because I kind of always like to have like phrase, but I heard like kind of 2 things at the end of last year that like stuck with me. So I put them on my little board. But I was like in this yoga class with this teacher, and I can't remember what she said. Like she was just saying something about like, oh, like think of your goals for the next year. And she was like, and I don't want to hear none of that. Cause also you're in a class full of yogis. And she's like, and I don't want to hear any of that. Like whatever's meant for me will come to find me. She's like, pick something that you want and write it down. Dream big or something. So that stuck with me. So yeah, that was the other piece that I was say.
I like those 2. Those are people that we haven't had on the podcast this year. So already unique though.
So that's my last.
BBKates. Rising DJ. And
is it Entro?
It is Entro.
Entro.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't ask me for the background of that because there isn't one. It just kind of came out. Thank you so much for joining me on the podcast. If people want to keep up with what you're doing, where can they find you?
At BBKates_ is my Instagram, which has the link to my SoundCloud and YouTube. And I think my SoundCloud and YouTube is just BBKates Beats on both of those. So perfect. I try to drop monthly mixes. If it's not a monthly mix, I'm trying to record some of my sets that I did for specific events and post them. And occasionally I post a vlog. That's just me talking about God knows what.
BBKates are great vlogs. 10 out of 10 recommend.
Got a really good cooking one on there. So
it's just so fun. It's so fun.
Honestly, I don't even know if I should call it vlogging.
It's so just like weird how you bring some good comedy vibe. I'm jealous. Fuck being nice. I'm just jealous of how much of a warm, inviting personality you are. Okay? I'm just gonna say it. So I want you to continue doing what you're doing.
Sometimes people just want to know they're not the only one crashing out. I'm here to crash out on a public platform. 20 minutes.
20 minutes of crashing out. Let's go.
There you go. So
awesome.
That's what I got.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
But thank you for having me. It was good to catch up. And yeah, excited to see what the next year, 6 months, whatever brings for you.
Fingers crossed. I'm excited to see that too. I'll fucking know.